Tah So, welcome. Thank you for sitting down to visit with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, Tah So, about your background. Tell me where you were born and how you got to Worthington, or tell me about your background.
So originally, I was born in Thailand, in a refugee camp there, just because my parents had to flee from when they were in Burma, where there's persecutions and government on arrest. It's happening still, and it's not safe. So my parents had to flee from when they were in. So I was born in Thailand, in the border, in the refugee camp, and so we got the opportunity to come to the U.S. Like back, I got here in 2008. That's when I was like 8 years old. So I started school like in third grades, and I have no idea what was going on. And so there would be like jet lag, and I would like fall asleep during school days. So that was back in St. Paul. I was there for 2 years, and then I ended up in Worthington after my dad got a job here. So in fifth grade, that was like the last fifth grade. That was at Prairie. That was my last time there in fifth grade, and then continue on to like middle school and high school. And here, been here since then.
So tell me about what you did after high school. You graduated in what year?
I graduated in 2017.
2017. Yeah. Okay, and then what did you do after that?
I went to a community college here in Minnesota West, and just doing my journals. And I have an idea of what I want to do, but at the same time, I really don't. Yeah. Right. But then I got the opportunity to work like part-time as the collaborative NCIC, where they do like kids programming and youth programming. And as I volunteer or do activity or things with them, I started to like, oh, that's what I like to do, is to help kids and to work with students. And yeah, that's how.
So tell me a little bit more about your job as a youth development coordinator?
Leader.
Youth development leader. Okay, tell me about that job.
So,
is that a full-time job?
Yes, it's a full-time job, and so usually if I'm not student teaching part of my morning in the morning, I'll be full-time with them, and I'll be in the classroom. Specifically, I'll be at the middle school providing classroom help in different content areas, subjects, and just being there part of the morning. And then afternoon, we will either have homework help or programmings that the student come, middle school and high school students.
So you talked about student teaching, so you student teach and do your full-time job.
Yes.
So you are working towards, tell me about the degree you're working towards.
So the degree that I'm working towards is TESOL, which is stand for Teaching English as Second Language, and also a reading endorsement.
Okay. And what made you, did your work with as a youth development leader, that sparked your interest in the teaching aspect of things, right? Was there anybody else that kind of encouraged you?
So I would say, first, like through all my schooling years, I would say there's a lot of teachers that have inspired me, like especially the EL teachers all the way to high school. They're very great and supportive of what I do as a learner and just as a person.
So with you doing both of those things, you're part of, tell me if I'm correct, the Grow Your Own program.
Yes.
Can you tell me, just talk about the Grow Your Own program a little bit.
Grow Your Own is a part of the teaching pathway that I'm part of. So the collaborations between the high school Worthington district here and the Minnesota West and Southwest Minnesota State University and Southwest Initiative Foundation, they're collaborating to give the student funds and to keep schooling so they can pay for your tuitions and your books, which is very beneficial for me as personally and the countless other out there.
So talking about that, working full-time and also being a student, I have a daughter that's doing the same thing. That's a lot. Talk about how you manage all that.
So
And get time for the gym, because I see you at the gym.
Yes, I wish I made more time for the gym, but yeah, it's sometimes I feel like I have no life, but at the same time I do have a life. Like I'm stuck in sitting there like countless hours of like just doing my papers on my computer, and takes hours to, and on top of that, because like my day will be like very full, and on top of my full job, and so schooling will be most likely for me in the evening, and I do get tired too. I feel you, those who are doing similar things like me, or like other students here like PSEO or other things in extracurriculum, so it's understandable. I feel you.
Yeah. That's a lot. Right?
Yeah. So like to take time off from that, like a break from studying a little bit, I will just go to my family. I think they're very important, and just to see my niece and nephew is like, hey, they're here.
Kind of recharge a little bit.
Yes, and just play with them. It's nice that just to set aside for a little bit.
What do you, as a person that came into this country and this community and trying to learn and not speaking the language, so obviously you're going to have great tools in teaching others how to do that. What do you see as an important thing to bring to the classroom?
I believe that all students or kids come with many different things in their backpacks that just say, like they bring so many things, either their family background or their language or their learning abilities. There's so many things that are going on, and I think it's very important, like as an educator or someone who's like going to be teaching, or the student's going to be learning from you, it's important to know their background information and just accept them for who they are, the way they speak or the way they are. It's really important.
Where are you in the process of how much more schooling do you have to do?
So this is my last semester with SMSU, and
that
so
would explain the student teaching.
Yes,
okay.
That's my part of my student teaching parts, where yes, I'm finishing off by May and should be done.
So then what? Then what?
Look for a job. That's the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you hoping? How does the Grow Your Own program? How do they help you continue to job search and things like that? Can you talk about that?
Right. So part of our Grow Your Own is very nice that they somehow connect you back through where you are. Like right now, I'm in Worthington, and part of it, like they want the growing of the teachers to continue in like the district or the surrounding district or anywhere like Fulda, Adrian, so that they can still be here and be a teacher in like specific area in elementary or preschool or TESOL or special ed. So they keeps you here somehow.
You know, with a person juggling a lot of different things, and you know, we all have challenges, but what do you think about you has that was instilled in you by your parents or other loved ones that makes you have the drive to get all of this done?
Yeah, so I think my mom is a prayer. Yes, I love my mom. Hi, Mom. But yeah, and my family and like my friends, close friends, and just like different mentors that I look up to, I would they're very supportive, and I'm also thankful for the partnerships that we have right now. It has helped me through, especially financial wise, and it helps me like just stay in this area, to not go to Marshall, for example, to study there. And in a way, it keeps me here as a community, and I really love the community that I have here, and just to keep growing as a person. I'm excited for what the future brings.
Thank you so much for sitting down. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What advice would you give to somebody that is coming into school and thinking, kind of thinking about teaching and the Grow Your Own program. How would you advise them to get hooked up with that?
Right. So first, if you're like a high school student and like interested in becoming a teacher or being part of the pathway, you can reach out to your guided counselor, or for example, they already offer like some concurrent classes that has to do with education, and you can start off from there and see if you like education or not. And often now you can actually continue on to Minnesota West, where there's general classes that like require for to be transferable to a university, or specifically Marshall. And so all those credits will be transferred there as you continue, and it will take time. And it's okay, because everything's taking time and it's all right. Sometimes you feel like you want to rush things, you know, and just take your time on. If you like doing teaching, you should continue, and especially getting exposed to classroom, like as an experience, or just working like in day camp, or just like volunteer with children and get the feel of how is it like to work with children. I think it would be really beneficial as someone going into education and knowing if they like it or not. And you should definitely do teaching. I think it's a very rewarding thing, because you're helping a little person or older person be inspired to like learn and know normal things about the world and their surroundings. So yeah.
So in your journey of helping others learn, what have you learned about yourself in this whole process?
What I learned about myself is like I mentioned before, it's okay to take time and to not rush. As just personally, like, I mean, because the route that I took, it was a little bit longer, and I was like, I don't know if I want to continue or not. And someday, like you mentioned, things may be hard. Like a course can be challenging, or a work can be challenging, or people can be challenging, and that's part of life. And you just have to learn how to work through everything, and everything will be all right.
Well, thank you so much, Tah So.
Thanks.
And we'll look forward to seeing you in the classroom.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome!